What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Friday night's Anfield Agenda late night news roundup. Over the course of tonight's video, as promised, we're going to give you some fresh developing news around an attacking player that Liverpool have been linked with that we haven't really spoken too much about on the channel. More on that to come over the next few minutes. We're also going to give you a bit of an insight into why there is no fallout or beef between Arne Slot and Darwin Nunez. We're going to talk about Luis Diaz and how Liverpool are set to hold showdown talks with him over his future. That and lots more to come over the next few minutes, but you know the score. I want to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, which of course I hope you do. And we'd love you to hit that subscribe button. We are so excited for the Reds winning the Premier League title. So much so that if Liverpool and Ipswich do both win, or excuse me, Liverpool and Arsenal do, wishful thinking, Liverpool and Arsenal do both win this weekend, we're probably going to do a watch-along of Arsenal's game against Palace on Wednesday, just in case, because if they were to lose that, well, then we could be crowned champions without kicking the ball, and it would kick myself if I wasn't live when that happened. So we'll probably be doing that one on Wednesday. But look, let's get stuck into the news. And as promised, a little bit from Paul Gorst here of the Echo, saying that Arne Slot has denied rumours of a bust-up with Darwin Nunez, saying the Liverpool striker simply didn't feel himself on the eve of last Sunday's win over West Ham, and he will be back in contention for Leicester City this weekend. So let's wait and see what happens there. Yeah, look, if he's back in the squad, he's back in the squad. If he's not, he's not. Either way, I think we're counting down the weeks at this point till Darwin is no longer a Liverpool player. Liverpool and Luis Diaz to hold showdown talks, according to Football Insider. This piece here said Liverpool will hold showdown talks with Luis Diaz over his future this summer. The report goes on to say that talks have been held over a potential new deal with the forward, but they've so far failed to reach an agreement. The Reds are now reported to be considering allowing him to leave in the summer to raise funds for incoming transfers. And we did kind of touch on this in tonight's late night agenda, and I think Anthony Gordon could become a possibility here. It was mentioned, I think, I'm not sure if it was in the Newcastle Chronicle or in another paper a few days ago, that he is a player that Newcastle may be open to selling this summer. Obviously, Harvey Barnes has done very well there, and they need to top up money for transfers. So maybe we see a situation where Luis Diaz departs and Liverpool reevaluate the Anthony Gordon situation. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section. Also tonight, there's been two players from an attacking midfield sense that have been linked with Liverpool, so much so that they're probably the main two names. And those names are Xavi Simons and Ryan Cherki. And tonight we asked everybody who you would like. And we ran a poll, and 79% of the people that voted said that they would prefer Lyon's Ryan Cherki over Xavi Simons. I very much agree, and especially knowing that his release tag is about £25 million compared to the 70-odd million that's expected to be the number for Xavi Simons. So I'm very much on the side of the audience with that one. So thank you to everyone that voted in it. Let's now talk a little bit about Liverpool keeping tabs on Hugo Ekitike. No breaking news there, but a report today from TBR Football said that Liverpool were among Premier League club scouts who were watching him in the game against Spurs. They claimed that Arsenal, Newcastle and Liverpool were in attendance for Eintracht Frankfurt's Europa League exit, but they were all there to watch the 22-year-old Frenchman. Look, we know that Liverpool have been strongly linked here. The price tag apparently now has gone up to about €100 million, and I think that's too much. I think about £60 million, maybe 75, 80 million euro seems like a more realistic number. I don't expect Liverpool or anybody else to pay €100 million to Eintracht Frankfurt for the player, but let me know what you guys think about it. Morgan Rogers, really far-fetched link, one that I don't really think is going to happen, but one that has been mentioned. Morgan Rogers has been, well, he's been complimentary to a couple of Liverpool players recently as well. Himself and Jacob Ramsey were asked about the best player this season. Jacob Ramsey said, this season, speaking about Mohamed Salah, his numbers have been top. He's like 34, and I don't know why I took so long to answer it. It's pretty easy. Morgan Rogers came in though and said, clear. He's having one of the best seasons ever in the Prem, and I think he's clear. Both of them speaking about the Premier League Player of the Season and it being Mohamed Salah. Morgan Rogers also went on to say that Virgil van Dijk has been the most difficult opponent that he's yet faced, complimenting Virgil's defending and, of course, the aura that is around the Liverpool captain. Now, I know we'd like to link things together here as fans and get carried away, but it is nice to hear a player that has done so well this season in the Premier League speak glowingly about Liverpool's players. And I know many of us would love Morgan Rogers to come to the Reds, and I very much welcome all those links. But do I think Liverpool will pay what it would take, or that Villa would be willing to sell? I'd be doubtful. But look, a boy can dream, right? So, I promised you a name that we hadn't spoken about yet, a name that has been linked to Liverpool, and a name that I'm really unsure how people are going to feel about. Some people, I think, will be really happy to see us linked with this player, others probably not sure. Football Insider have said that Liverpool have entered the race to sign £60 million rated Crystal Palace midfielder Eberechi Eze. Thoughts? I'm really unsure if we need to drop £60 million. We do need to bring in an attacking midfielder. He is Premier League proven. I'm on the fence. I'm unsure. And I genuinely am looking for your feedback on this one. You know, if you look at Cherki, let's say, at 25 million, you can see more value. But we do need players that are proven in the Premier League and players that have come through. So, you know, I assume Eze is a homegrown player, having been at Palace. That would help as well, which is why I mentioned Anthony Gordon earlier on when we were talking about maybe losing Luis Diaz, because if we move some homegrown players on, like the likes of Elliott and whatnot, well, we're going to have to replace those in the squad. So players like Eze or Anthony Gordon, well, you can at least understand the logic behind the links. He's probably Crystal Palace's biggest asset, maybe along with Jean-Philippe Mateta. So thoughts on this one? Do we believe that Liverpool are interested? Mark Gay, of course, is another player from Crystal Palace that they may lose this summer. His contractual situation will mean that they have to sell him this summer maybe, or lose him for free if he doesn't sign a new deal. So all in, folks, I want to know what your thoughts are there on the comments from Morgan Rogers. The links to £60 million Eberechi Eze, and is he worth £60 million? Ryan Cherki versus Xavi Simons. Which one would you take at Liverpool? And of course, we also took you through the situation with the showdown talks with Liverpool and Luis Diaz. I'd like Diaz to stay, but I do think this is the summer where if Liverpool can't agree an extension with him, 2 years to go, his age profile, clubs in Saudi being interested, you could probably cash in and make a pretty penny and then reinvest that in another younger player. So that is it for me tonight, ladies and gents. I won't be live tomorrow, Saturday, unless something drastic happens and breaks around Liverpool. There is the preview coming out tomorrow morning for the game against Leicester City. That's coming out at 10 a.m. and I'll have a news video tomorrow evening as well. If I don't see you before Sunday, have a wonderful weekend. A reminder, we're going to kick off at 3:15 with our watch-along on Sunday for the game. 4:30 kickoff. Could be the day we win the Premier League title, but look, worst case scenario, we know if we win, then a win at home to Spurs, and it's in the bag. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much for watching. Looking forward to reading your comments. We'll talk soon. Much love. Bye-bye.